Stuff was going on, so we had to kind of pull back because you don't want to jump into the subject matter not fully cocked. You don't want to be
Right.
half cocked when you're trying to talk about something
Exactly.
that is hopefully a benefit to every party involved. Now, today we're going to be talking about a subject matter that I want to caution everyone: parental discretion is
Is
advised.
advised.
Yeah, we will be using profanity at times, not just for the sake of cursing, but because it is relevant to the way you have to say it.
What's
So,
up, Carnell?
what's
Lil
going
Baker,
on, people? Yeah.
Kishana,
Hey,
Kim.
tell everybody, share this right now. That is
Share
the
it
real
now.
estate. Share it
What's
right
up,
now.
sis? Erica.
Yeah, what's
Craig
going
is
on?
watching.
And I hope y'all will stay on because this is a very, very serious topic.
Yeah,
and this
man.
topic is about relationships. It's about relationships going wrong. It's about why they go wrong. We're gonna take this approach from
What's
a
up, Sammy?
spiritual point of view. What's going on? And we're gonna start from there. But as always, I want to go to the Bible. And
Okay.
I want you all to understand something about me and Jesus Christ and God and Bible. I don't believe that the book is a soft punk ass book. I believe that it is the strongest book that we can ever utilize to keep ourselves on track with God.
Right.
I don't believe that the book is meant for you to be happy at every point in your life, but it is meant for you to think about where you are in your life and change your life in accordance to what will make you happy. Think about that. Rewind that for a minute. But today I want to go into Isaiah 3:16 first,
Right.
specifically about women. And I want you to see how this is relevant to our subject matter today, Dale, because most of the time, you and I were just talking, when you meet a woman, they're everything you want them to be
Exactly.
because they're trying to capture a man.
Right.
They're trying to hold on to the idea of someone to support them, support the children, and someone that they can love for the rest of their lives. But when you are pretending to be something, you're lying.
Exactly.
And when you're lying at the beginning of the relationship, either you're going to lie through the whole relationship or you're going to get caught in the lie and the relationship going to fall apart.
Like a train track.
Like a train track. It may be 20 years down the line.
It's gonna happen.
It may be 35 years
up,
down the
Kim?
line. It's going to fall apart.
Exactly.
And what you are doing is what I call a Hollywood relationship. You're acting.
Right.
Every single thing that Hollywood had that we didn't know anything about has been introduced in society.
Exactly.
Fake hair,
Fake hair.
fake lashes,
Fake boobs.
fake boobs, fake ass.
Behind.
Right.
So
Fake-
now you don't have a real woman.
You don't have a real woman. And woman, you don't have a real man
What's up,
because
Elaine?
all he want to do is have sex with you.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So we're going to talk about the power of sex today.
Yes, sir.
We're going to talk about the power of truth.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to talk about it the way God says it. Now, Isaiah 13:16 of the King James Version of the Bible. I want you to check this out. Moreover, it says, in quotes, moreover, says the Lord says, because the daughters of Zion, which are black women,
What's up, Unc?
the daughters of Zion are proud and walk with their heads held high and seductive eyes. That sound familiar to you?
Right.
Got on all these eyelashes.
Eyelashes.
God is saying, because you
Ridiculous.
choose to do this, right?
Mhm.
Because you choose to attract me with your body before I know anything about your mind. Says, and go along with mincing steps and tinkling bangles on their feet, high heel shoes.
High heel shoes.
You choose, you upset with me because I'm looking at your ass. But your shoes are clocking and you got on tight pants and your ass is moving and I'm a man.
So it can attract that attention.
Right. But the
Right.
wrong attention.
Unwanted attention.
But because God says, because that's what you want, I'm going to give you that, right? He says, therefore the Lord will afflict
What's up, Brandy?
the Lord will afflict the scalp of daughters of Zion with scabs.
Mm.
Are they putting the fake hair in their head?
Yeah.
When they pull the hair out, is their hair coming
Now
out
the
with it?
colors are colors that don't even match us.
Right, right.
you know?
Now the hair and scalp is so damaged that they can't
Tore
do
up the
nothing with it.
edges.
So even in the mornings, they got to put a wig on.
Right.
This is a curse now.
Right.
This is God saying, I made you exactly the way I wanted you to be.
Exactly.
But you are not satisfied with that because you want to be something other than yourself.
Exactly.
And you're lying to yourself and you're lying to your mate. God says, I gave you permission to wear chains, ankle bracelets, and all of that stuff.
Mhm.
But since you choose to wear them the wrong way, he says at the end, says instead of a belt, I'm going to give you a rope. Instead of a well-set hair, I'm going to pluck your scalp out. Instead of fine clothes and I'm going to give you sackcloths, right? So in relationships, this is where it's headed. A woman that you thought was attractive when you met her, now you know her, the ins and outs of this woman, and she's no longer attractive. She looks like this ugly witch. You know what I
Right.
mean? Her attitude is funky.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? Now it's all military style life when you thought you got involved with the woman that had something of substance to offer, help you grow.
Right.
Now you are not growing, you're actually dying, and you see men and women walking around together still married, but no life in their faces. No life in their eyes. They got big homes, big cars, big all
the
of
material
this.
things.
All of it.
Right.
But sad. And now they are going on to commit adultery in the relationships
Right.
because they didn't find the happiness they were looking for. Now I want you to go ahead and open up with what you're going to talk about, and we're going to go deep into the subject matter. We got some psychological things we got up top. We always come out of Psychology Today.
Right.
I love the magazine. That's if you're not reading it, I would suggest you do so. Read Psychology Today and read anything that deals with the sociology of the time.
Right.
All right, Black, go ahead.
So we're gonna deal with the key factors in that whole situation, dealing with marriages, not only for marriges but also relationships.
Right.
And people.
Right.
Spiritual demons.
Right.
Egotistical sex.
Right. I want to stop right there on that spiritual demons.
Spiritual demons.
Reason I want to stop on that because a lot of people aren't aware of the spirits that they transfer to each other during sex.
Right.
The energy that they transfer to each other when they say that they are in love with each other. God built us to be spiritual beings.
Right.
So we have this connection, Black. And when we, like a keyhole to a door.
Right.
And then it takes the key to unlock it.
Yes, sir.
And when I was a little boy, we used to do this all the time.
Right.
To show a girl that we wanted to have sex with her.
Right.
We're going to put the
you
key.
did the
under
the hand
right.
like that.
We want to
Right.
put the key in the lock, and we want to unlock the spiritual side of the woman.
Right.
Well, when you start having sex with the woman who lies to you coming in, a man who lies to you coming in,
Exactly.
you don't open the door to God's spiritual heavenly sex, which is the Garden of Eden.
Right.
You're catering to that satanic voice that whispers inside of you.
Right.
Turn this guy out.
Right.
Make him a sexual deviant. Do things to him that is not for his pleasure, but for you to control that person.
Exactly.
So every single person that we have dealt with in our life has left a part of themselves in us.
Spiritual demons.
Spiritual demons.
Exactly.
And scientists have proven that if you came inside of a woman, she didn't have to get pregnant.
Exactly.
But if you put sperm inside of her, she didn't get pregnant.
Right.
But a man comes along and get her pregnant 10 years later, part of your sperm is a part of that child.
Oh my God, that's so.
Is that
real.
heavy?
That's heavy.
You know what I mean? So now you got a child that's acting like an old boyfriend. You're like, you act just like so and so, because he's got that in him.
Oh, that's
see what
deep.
I'm saying?
That's deep.
Now you fell out with this guy. You didn't like him. Now you don't like the child.
I think too much of the blame is always, and I'm gonna say this to everybody, we always blame the men.
Right. That's right.
You know what I mean? Even when brothers creep and they dealing with a female, you ever notice how the female the one you go in, the one you creep with, they cool now. Now they're exchanging all these stories.
Right.
You're just as wrong as that man over there, though.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
All men are dog, but my feelings is it take a cat to have a dog too.
Right,
also,
right. I had that situation with someone, and
you
and
get
she
exposed.
said it.
Back in the 30s and the 50s.
Right.
When our parents was coming up or grandparents, everything stayed in the closet.
Right. And we talked about that. Yeah.
But it starts with everybody, from men to women.
That's right.
When we get inside these relationships, man, we do everything we want to do to get a person.
Right.
And when we get that person, I don't have to get a haircut. No
right.
more. I don't have to fix my hair no more.
Right. I don't have to
going
look
to the
sexy.
store like this.
Right.
Yeah.
I had my ex-wife, man, and we're pretty cool right now.
Right.
But it got to the point where she was dressing well to attract me.
Right.
And then when we got married and had children, she
care.
only dressed well to go out.
Yo,
you understand what I'm saying?
That is deep.
So she didn't dress well to impress me at home as her husband.
Right.
When she got dressed,
What's up, Jig?
first
Jimmy
thing
Down?
I say is, where you going?
Right.
Because I know you going out to impress some other man.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But my love for her wouldn't allow me to cut the relationship.
Right.
We were spiritually connected.
And it's hard, man. And the next one, they talk about egotistical sex.
Very important.
Oh, my God.
What happens with women and men?
And men.
Man has a big dick, He figured, I'm going to control this woman with my big dick. Parental discretion is advised.
Yes.
You're not in the relationship to see to it that the woman is pleased sexually.
Right.
You want to tear that woman's vagina apart. I have someone right now whose boyfriend at the time had a huge dick. And he would tell her before sex,
what's up, Jeremy?
What's going on? We talking grown-up stuff today now.
Hey,
so
Jeremy, tune in, bro, because
Yeah.
I'm sure you can relate.
Yeah, parental discretion is advised today. So he would always tell her before sex, I'm going to make it to where no other man can get inside you.
After women can drop 10 pound-ounce babies.
You understand what I'm
think
saying?
that can happen?
Well, I think they can knock loose the uterus wall, but it's not a pleasurable sex.
Right.
What it is, it's an egotistical sex. And egotism, what it does is it spreads to the person that you're involved with.
Right.
Women, on the other hand, use their adornments, which God said don't use them for that reason.
A sanctuary.
They
sanctuary.
pop their ass. You see them doing
the twerking.
They
got
twerking.
The little kids doing it now.
Right. They're doing everything that it takes to entice you like a Jezebel. Right. And their desire during the sexual act is to make you have an orgasm, make you come. That's it. It don't have to be pleasurable. It's just that man, I made that nigga bust all over the place. That nigga. And you talk about him like a dog afterwards.
Right.
The act of sex is meant to be a spiritual connection between the man, the woman, and God.
Exactly.
All right? That builds the Garden of Eden.
Exactly.
That is a matter of fact. There's no doubt about it.
How about humble sex?
Humble sex is when you go into the relationship asking, what do you like?
Right. Okay.
What do you don't? What do you not like?
Okay.
Right. A man says, "Well,
Marvin?
I want you to perform fellatio. I want you to give me a blowjob." Woman says, "I don't do that. That's nasty." Right.
But you can do her.
But you understand what I'm saying? So what the woman has to learn how to do is say, "Tell me how to do it."
Right.
You, my husband, I'm going to make sure that you are pleased at home.
Right.
Now, real spiritual people who are just most of them are just
Samantha?
liars. What's going on, people? Real spiritual people or real churchy people act like they don't do no dirt.
Right.
They can't do nothing to please their husband or their boyfriend or whatever.
Right.
9 times out of 10, the man's out in the street doing something else.
And funny you saying that, man, because there's a lot of preachers getting caught up in church.
Getting caught up.
That's another story.
Right. They're stressed out. They're this is no excuse. Some of them just perverts.
Right.
But some of them have such a heavy load teaching the word. They're stressed out. They come home to stress. Come home to a woman that don't know how to caress them.
Right.
Don't know how to rub them. Don't know how to please them sexually. And you know what happens? We talked about that on last week, I think, the last time we were together in Eve's Bayou.
Right.
The daughter can tell that the man is stressed.
Exactly.
So the daughter comes in and start caressing the man, and the next thing you know, incest is in play.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because God, the Spirit of God is in the child, but the wife has decided, I'm going to do it the way I want to do it.
Right.
Now the man is really depressed, or the woman.
A lot of people get comfortable.
Yeah, the woman is
Real
frustrated sexually.
Right.
And she goes out, and all she wants is sexual pleasure.
Women thinking that their vagina is the answer to the relationship.
That is, I want you to talk on that first.
That is so untrue because...
Do they think it, though?
They do. A lot of them do think it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm not going to give them that's a punishment. That's the worst punishment in the world to give a man.
Right. My ex-wife was that way. She
and that's not true. But then we need to get out of that thought. We need to get out of that thought.
But it's so deep. It's so deep because, I mean, you're looking at the best rappers, Minaj and all these rappers, they sell sex. Even Kim, Lil Kim, they all sell sex. People they never been to concerts.
I think a lot of that comes from sometimes, like, I always say this. Sometimes certain women can't give certain love because they've been raised by a lame person. Okay. Or a person who, I feel
go
like
into that. What do you
I'm
mean
going
by
to
lame?
like, all right, if this guy took you to the room or took you wherever he took you, and it was always about, okay, pull your pants off, let's have sex.
Right.
There's no foreplay, there's no this and that.
No love, nothing.
And no love, anything. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's how they think. Like, this controls everything. This going to control
sex.
every man that I've ever come across.
Right.
And that's not true. You know
Absolutely
what I'm saying?
not.
Especially for people who've had a large variety. You know what I mean? Because for men, that's 10-1. Women need to understand that. You know, you go out here, you be a hoe, and that's what you're known as, a hoe. Nobody wants to settle down with you.
No.
Nobody's walking and holding your hand through the mall because they don't want no part of that.
Right.
But if you value your body,
right,
then he tries hard to get you. that's a whole nother different scenario.
Right.
Now he honors you even more.
Right. Well, this is what I agree with that 100%. And I want to say this also. Dale and I are not going to agree all the time on stuff. That's the best part of it all.
Right.
We're honest with what we feel so you
Right.
can look at both sides of a thing. But what he's saying right now, I agree with. And I watched in Clarendon County a lot of good young girls turn to whores.
Yes.
Because they didn't know anything else. And they still good people.
And
they still good people.
The example has been set sometime by the parents too now.
Yes. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
There was a girl that I was with, man. Every time she talked to me on the phone, my mom in there. Getting down.
Right.
Next thing I know, she calling me over to get down.
Call her, Chris.
What's going on? You know what I mean?
Right.
So she learned by example. But when we got caught, her mother wailed on me. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, how you gonna wail on me
for something you
for
taught?
something you know what I mean?
Right.
And so I mean, but that's just the way it goes.
And you always hear back in the day when girls just say, "Oh, you get a piece of this, you'll be hooked," or this and this and that.
Nah.
And what people look like. We got a bad perception on what our dream person is supposed to be.
Right.
You know, even when you went to school, everybody wanted the girls who
light
looked
skin,
good or this and that. Now the tables have turned. That girl you ain't pay attention to in the corner is the flyest thing right now.
Right.
Got all these degrees and got it going on for herself. Same with the guys.
Right.
And I think a lot of it has to do with a lot of self-confidence too.
Sure. You're trying to find something to compensate for what you feel less about yourself. If you're dark skinned, you want a light skinned chick. Right. This is a mismatch in the relationship period.
Right.
What you're looking for in a relationship is potential.
Right.
You can tell the potential of a person when they are honest with you.
Right.
Okay, this dude, he don't keep the cap on the toothpaste. He don't wash his dishes when he finish eating.
He don't clean his hand after he go to the bathroom.
But I can work with that.
Right.
I can talk to because he listens.
Right.
He's approachable.
Right.
So I can tell him, listen, I don't like it when you do this. And he's like, oh, I grew up like that. I didn't know.
Right.
I will fix that. Same thing with women.
I once heard a man tell me about, how he was going through problems with his woman. And he cried to me. And he was like, man, all I asked her, man, was to tell me, what can I do to make things better?
Right.
She wasn't willing to work with him.
Right.
She was willing to go out and get somebody in the street
right.
who treated her like trash.
Right.
Because that's what she know. That goes back to my saying of how she was raised by another man.
Right.
I really think that people walk out of their last relationships and they walk into a new one with the same mind state.
I agree.
You have to change you have to reinvent yourself. Every relationship you go into,
you gotta find
you should reinvent yourself.
Yeah, you gotta find
because everything will work for him doesn't work for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's
and
the biggest problem.
A damaged woman brings all of that baggage to the next relationship, and this guy trying to make things work is going to get all of that. Same thing with the man. I brought a lot of damage to my new relationship. I did that.
Me too.
But I recognized that I was doing it because when you point out something I'm approachable.
Right.
A lot of people don't know that, but when you tell me, man, I might walk away from you and not say a word. You be like, Keith, man, you fucking up.
Right.
I ain't gonna say nothing.
Right.
But I'm thinking about what you said to me.
Right.
And I'll come back and like, what you mean I'm fucking up? Tell me what you mean. Now, if you can't explain to me what you're talking about, keep your mouth shut.
Problem.
But if you can break it down to me, you doing this. A
lot of it has something to do with your surroundings too.
Right.
I hate to say it, but I'm gonna keep it 100. A single woman has nothing to tell a married woman.
Nothing.
When you trade over, you have to. It's not that you don't love the same people you loved before. You ain't cool with the same friends. But it's about growth. You can't grow doing the same thing all the time or being around the same people. What's up? That's Brandon. What's up, Brandon?
What's going on?
You can't grow like that. You have to cut certain people off.
Right.
And that should go both ways if y'all trying to build something.
Right. So where are we standing right now when we talk about when relationships go wrong?
We're too stubborn.
Can they be repaired?
They can. Some of them can.
Or should we just quit with the relationship? Your views?
I think we need to be honest with each other, man. If we don't love each other, it's time to go.
Right.
That way nobody get hurt, because at the end of the day, when she tell you, oh, this belongs to you, or he say this belongs to her, that's not true. It belongs to the people who created you.
Right, that's right.
And if you're not happy, then it's time for you to get out.
Right.
Without always having some bad things happen.
Right.
I don't believe in domestic. I don't believe in hurting somebody. I don't believe in destroying somebody's character.
Right.
Because me and you, we do business. We do business when we get up here and talk.
Right, that's right.
But if we can't see eye to eye, we might have a bad business relationship, but not a bad personal relationship.
Not a personal relationship.
I knew you almost 30 years.
Right, that's right.
And one more thing I want to touch on. The punishment of sexual suppression.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Not allowing a person to indulge in the pleasure they need from their spouse.
Don't put nobody up here.
Right.
Now, when we talk about things, we keep it 100, like you say, fellatio.
Right.
A woman sometimes will let a man do them.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want to do that, man.
Right, right.
I don't think that's fair because
no,
you don't put
fair.
nobody above yourself.
No, it's not fair.
If you're showing that I trust you and I honor you, then I'm showing you that.
Right.
You show it back to me.
You got to give it to, look, I demand that. Right. I demand like whatever, and I taught my wife this, and I think I taught her a lot. She taught me a lot.
Right.
But I teach her, whatever I do to you, rest assured I want that done to me. Right. But I'm going to do it first.
Right.
So you'll know that I'm not trying to play you.
Right.
Not only am I going to do it, but I'm going to do it right. You understand what I'm saying?
Now, you see how we just said that? It goes back to the last.
Right.
It goes back to the person before or whatever. The expectations, people don't, we're supposed to, in a relationship, you're supposed to do expectations, set expectations, and do your follow-up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You don't hide nothing from me.
Right. I don't hide nothing from you.
I don't hide nothing from you.
Right.
When it gets like that where you hear the whisperings and stuff like that, you begin not to really trust each other.
Right.
That breaks up relationships 100% because no one trusts no one.
That's right.
You know?
You're telling everybody except for telling the person who needs to know. I don't want us to get, especially the young people, but a lot of older people.
Right.
Caught up into thinking that what's between your leg is the golden.
It's not. It's not.
It's a good feeling.
Mm-hmm.
But once the feeling of sex is gone, there's nothing left.
Yo, I seen something in Man and Man that I will always honor. Shout out to Anthony Calhoun and
I don't know him.
Yeah, Anthony, he's out, got family out here.
Okay.
Latifah Calhoun and them. This was years ago, man. I seen their moms and they dad inside of Huddle House, man. Mm-hmm. And she had to rest in peace, Tareen. She had a smile on her face, man. They was enjoying
their time together.
Breakfast. And they was looking like they just met each other.
In love still.
The little things that count, whether you go get ice cream or you do something simple, man.
Right.
I think we got our mind focused on, pay the light bill this week or the rent is due.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. In psychology today, they have something that goes right in line with what you're saying, which proof positive that we study before we come on the air.
You don't just be up here trying to get no views,
right? Because this guy didn't know. He didn't know nothing about when he came in. I said, "Yo, I put something up on the screen for you to see." He ain't see it yet.
Right.
But what he's talking about right now is when you're in a relationship where these special moments are not pretend, they're real.
Exactly.
One of the failures of relationships, it says the number 3 thing is micromanagement.
Yes.
It's when you do things, but you're managing it like a job. Okay, we're going to go out and eat, then we're going to go to the movie, then we're going to come back. There's no joy in that.
Right.
But when you just decide, hey, baby, what you doing?
Right.
Nothing. Well, I want to go out to eat. You want to go? Yeah, let's go. She gets all dolled up, like you're talking about. Yeah. You see the joy in the person's face. They're enjoying themselves. It's not micromanaged. What's going on? So what happens with most of our relationships, we have been taught what is supposed to make us happy.
Traditional.
Big car, nice house, go out on trips. I've seen people on the islands, we go to trips and stuff, miserable.
Yeah.
Because they micromanage the damn thing.
Right.
It's like, what are y'all doing? We're supposed to be having fun.
Right.
Nah, 3 o'clock we going here, at 4 o'clock, and then they got the movie at 1:30.
There was an agenda. Now it's no agenda. Doing? You know, and then, the bad part about it, man, I think you should get all you need to get out of life. And when I say
you
that,
got
man,
to.
We bury our head in financial situations, even for people in relationships.
Right.
You got to show that you honor that person. I found out when people know that you love somebody and you honor that person, then they don't cross the line.
That's right.
A lot of people cross the line when they feel like you don't honor the person that you with.
That's right.
I've always been a guy, like, I never take disrespect. If I'm with somebody, I don't care who's first, who's last. Let's not be disrespectful, homie. This is me now, and I'm going to represent it.
Absolutely.
I'm willing to die for it,
Absolutely.
do whatever we need to do for it.
Absolutely.
But we need to take it back to the main things that make it wrong, man. It's on both parts. We're not blaming females only. We're not blaming the guys, but people have to step up, man, and to repair your relationship, it's trying to reconnect us.
Okay, let it keep going.
Yep.
It's connected. I want to say this too. I know we're still on, but anytime you get on Facebook Live or anything like that, and you start talking about things, but God, we're recording, so we can repost it. But anytime you start talking about subjects of value, they're always gonna cut you off.
Problem.
You understand what I'm saying?
I think that we should repair relationships. If that person is worth you loving, then do it. But if it's not, then it's time to go.
Right.
Because I seen people grow out of each other.
Yeah.
Nothing stays the same.
People that you thought was so in love that it never would have happened to them.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, people who take pictures today and post them up online like they're so happy, but they're miserable. We know this.
Now the sad thing that I see is when females talking about they looking for a man and then they want to post this half-dressed dude.
Right.
See, that's the problem.
That's the problem.
Even the guys, when they sneak see this picture of the female, that's the problem.
Right.
You have to start honoring people for what they are, man.
Right.
Because beauty is in the inside.
It's inside. I mean, we were just talking about the Calvins, Odell and Annie Dale Calvin.
Right.
God rest their soul.
Man. Great women, man.
I told you straight off the bat, I know them from the inside out, and they've been hot, solid people, man.
That's real, man.
Good people.
What's up, Greg?
But if you didn't know them, and you just saw them, these women their mother taught them how to be a woman, how to cook, how to do things, how to please a man, all of that.
Right.
So that's what you're looking for. Right. But if you're looking on the outside for it, you're gonna miss it. You understand what I'm saying?
Telling you, man, firsthand, because I grew up in states where we had different nationalities. That's not down in the South. It was always you went with somebody, the Wilson family, the Powell family.
Right.
And, up there you had a chance to be with a Jamaican, Puerto Rican, white girl, whatever. Nobody looked at you different.
Right. It was whatever.
But the thing is, the thing it was always looks.
Right.
Oh, she's bad.
Especially the Spanish girls.
Yeah.
And you ain't gonna hold on to no, I hate this.
My God.
You ain't gonna hold on to no Spanish girl, bro.
Nah, they move on. They move on
but
fast,
they look
bro.
so good.
Right.
You want them. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Same thing with white girls in a lot of relationship with black guys.
Right.
They're not gonna stay with one guy very long. They want a lot of them. And I'm talking from experience. I'm talking from guys
I've
who
seen
know
it
as
in
well.
my family, dudes who dated white girls.
Yeah,
man,
but you looking for your own, and you looking for something that you can hold on to.
Right.
Not saying that it won't work. The way relationship work when it's a black and white or any other nationality is what we talked about earlier.
Right.
Communication.
Communication.
Look, my people grew up this way.
Right.
We grew up under a lot of scrutiny and pain under your people's, you know what I mean? Tyranny. So you're not going to talk to me any kind of way.
Exactly.
You're not going to use the N-word to me.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? That's not going to happen. So when you got the doors open to a relationship, and I'm glad you brought that up, because it is relationships that are multicultural, multiracial, and the way they stay together, it's not the way it's intended, but it happens.
Right.
The way they stay together is through communication.
Communication is everything.
But the thing about communications is when a black woman is with a white man, he's always, what's the matter, sweetheart?
Right.
What can I do for you, honey?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
The value goes up.
But a black man is like, bitch, you know what I'm saying?
What
Get your ass up and go cook me something.
And that's the most things in relationships, the disrespect part.
Right.
When you met me, I was a cute, dark-skinned dude.
Now
you mad, I'm a black
You're black, You know black this, you know good this, you don't work.
And you already dark-skinned dudes had it hard.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the thing some of y'all girls out there working, taking care of these men, please stop it.
Right, but they're not going to stop it.
Only time he want to go out with you is when you get your EBT card.
They're not going to stop it,
He got on pajamas, you got on pajamas, he yelling down the aisle, hey, baby, these Sprites 2 for $5.
Right. That
you know what I mean?
That is a hindrance, and that is like...
That's not a man.
A man needs the comfort of a woman like a mother at times.
At times.
But a man does not need a woman to take care of him. With my wife and my wife has always been a higher financial bracket. She makes more money than I make.
Okay.
I don't take her money.
Right.
I do what I can with what I got and give her half of what I make.
Exactly.
And then as you can see in the studio, I buy things that make money.
Right. Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? So I turn over money.
And you got a craft.
Right. And I got a craft. You got a skill. You use it. You balance it out.
Skills make money.
Right.
Yeah.
Most of the time in a relationship, fellas, the woman going to be bringing it in.
Right.
Especially in this day and age.
They
Don't
go hard.
suck up her money. Find your place and use it. Nah, baby, we can't go there today because I'm the man and I want to pay. And until I can pay, we're not going.
This generation
you understand
is
what I'm
different
saying?
now, man. It's like it's all on the females.
Nah.
That tears the relationship up.
Right.
Because you're only there for what she can do. And even in marriages, some people still stay with somebody because they can financially
take care of them.
But sometimes that can ruin you in the end.
Right.
That
psychologically.
It can.
It brings a lot of psychological damage. The same with psychology today. It talks about neglect.
You're right,
and
Nicole.
it talks about a lack of appreciation.
Right.
When a man is not bringing in the amount of money that a woman brings in, but he washes the car, cleans the house, cuts the grass. That's saving you money.
Right.
And when a person is saving you money, you should be appreciative, because by saving money, that means you don't have to put that money out.
Right.
So you're really making money. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. When I'm doing the things that you would have to hire someone to do, then I'm balancing out the relationship because I'm saving money.
Right.
But when a woman or a man, especially with women who take care of the babies, teach the babies, cook, clean, man comes home and treats her like garbage.
Play PlayStation or video game all day.
That's a no-no, baby. Look, I appreciate what you did all week. You going out with your girls? Here goes some money right here.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? Go enjoy yourself, whatever. But do what you're supposed to do. There's a balance in this thing. And like I said, myself, Dale says, when we talk about a subject, we're not running down on you.
No.
We come with solutions to the problem. But we're opening doors is the main thing.
Right.
To conversation,
like to talk about
about things. This might be the simplest thing in the world,
right?
But this, at the same time, is the most difficult thing to talk about.
And I think a lot of times relationships get destroyed when family members are in your business,
right?
Because like they say, if somebody in your family tells you something about somebody that they're close to. Oh, I seen so-and-so cheating or seeing so. To me, that's dangerous because you never know the reaction of that person.
Right.
You know what signs of when you're not treated right or what to look for. And then when you tell your sister or your brother, you're mad at me because I did this, but me and you get back together and we right, they're going to look at me the same way and still be mad.
And that's unfortunate.
That's a barrel of shame.
That's unfortunate because I honestly, I like to be in my, I got 6 boys and 1 girl. And I like to be in their relationships because I'm not biased.
Right, right.
Because when you tell me something, my husband cheated on me, I'm not looking at him a certain way.
Right.
First thing gonna come out of my mouth that's gonna make you angry is, well, what did you do?
Right.
Or what did you not do?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? That made him figure he had to go out.
Right.
Like my daughter she's a rough one, man.
Right.
You got a certain, you know what I mean?
You don't want him to be played over.
Yeah, so it's like,
over.
man, you got to be, my sister's the same way.
Right.
They don't tolerate certain things. My wife is like that.
Right.
My wife ain't gonna tolerate me treating her no kind of way. It's got to be there,
right.
and I respect that about her. You understand what I'm saying?
And I respect this about women too. Even when your man has company over there, a woman need to stay in a place.
Right.
Men, we need to stay in our place. You
right.
know, you don't need to be all in the living room with her and her company,
right.
or
man.
she be all around you and your company,
man.
Because that draws the wrong signals.
Listen.
You should always call somebody before you go to their house. That's what I really feel.
I was friends with a dude, and
what's up, Jungle?
He really treated his girl real bad.
Right.
But he would be sitting on the chair facing me, and I would be facing him. It's a true story. And his girl would be in the kitchen.
Right.
And she would deliberately pull her pants down or something for me to see her.
Whoa.
Right behind his back.
Whoa.
You understand what
deep.
I'm saying?
That's
Is
deep,
that serious or what?
Yeah.
I ain't telling you no lie, bro.
Right.
And I'd be like, trying to tell it, what the you gonna get me killed up in here.
Yeah.
Because I ain't really got nothing to do with what you're doing, but
right.
you're doing it for attention.
Anyway.
There's a reason why you're doing it. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I cried for attention is what it was. Now, I could have taken advantage of that, Dale, but I never did.
And
she'll tell you that.
Ones out there,
she'll
bro.
tell you, nah, that dude. Now, I did do dirt. You understand? I did do wrong to some people.
Right.
I did knock on their doors when I knew they weren't home.
Right.
Because I was attracted to their, and I knew they was.
It was a change.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm saying that because I don't talk at people.
Right.
And I know you don't. We talk to people. You understand what I'm saying?
Nobody's perfect.
Right. I don't talk at you like you just the worst thing.
Right.
I'm telling you, this is how it is. So I encourage people, especially what Dale just said about
What's
not
up, Dre?
having your friends around your girl. That's a
no-no. No. Even family members.
Not even family. Sometimes dad can't even be around her.
What's up, Corey Space?
I know a man that told me that he had sex with his son's girlfriend.
It's a lot that happened.
You understand what I'm saying?
I've seen a dude have sex with twins. Mother and daughter relationships.
Right. Well, you get involved with that kind of thing because it's there.
It's there, right.
Temptation is there.
Yeah.
So we're going to hold balance to this thing.
Right.
You got to teach the young and even the old how to handle themselves in a relationship.
And you have to
setting.
You have to value yourself.
You have to have value for yourself.
Right.
I had value for myself with my ex-wife, and she was stepping out, I wasn't gonna go and step out.
Right.
I could have stepped right into some disease.
Now that's a real person.
You understand what I'm saying?
Because Tim last was the movie Temptation.
Right.
You see what happened?
Right.
And things like that do happen. That might be your first time you ever stepped out on your husband or your girl or whatever, and that might be your last time.
First and last.
First and last.
First and last.
You know?
Again, y'all listening to Like It Is. That's the name of the
Tell
the
it
show.
like it is.
We telling it like it is. Myself, Dale Castro. We're gonna really try to build the brand on telling it like it is.
Yeah.
So as I was telling Dale just now, we need some writers. We need some people who suggest shows to talk about. We need film people who can work the cameras, because we got the cameras, but we need people to work the cameras. We need all of this lighting. We got the lighting. And this is something that has not been done. And that's why I take it, this like my baby. I take it to heart, because we've done rap shows and all that stuff. And we will do, we haven't touched on social subjects, especially in a small town, in a small setting. And you need it.
You'd be surprised if there's 1,000 people watching this and it changed 5 lives.
That's it.
That's good for me.
That's what we were born to do. You're born to touch people's lives. So I'm encouraging people, men and women, the neglective loop that we go into, where you just start neglecting your significant other. They're not important. You're going out with the guys, and I see a lot of people are building these groups now, brands and all that, and you want to run with the guys, but you're neglecting this woman at home. That is a huge mistake.
Yes. And we're not everybody is not 100% right. Because this is how I feel about it, Keith. And this goes for everybody. Sin is sin, whether it's fornication.
Anything.
Even when you've had sex your first time and you wasn't married, ladies, that was a sin.
That's a sin.
You still have to pay for that one,
or the
too.
man you're with is separated, but he's still married.
Exactly. That's
a sin.
Because a lot of people don't understand this, is that, man, in order for something to get fixed, you have to find out what broke it. What messed the whole situation up.
You know what? Yeah, you got to repeat that.
Yeah.
Go into that a little bit.
Okay, if you got to find out what the problems is. Too many times when we argue, we done been with somebody, whether it's 2 years, 3 years, 10, 20, couple of decades, 30. We start getting to a point where we feel like we could talk to each other any kind of way. That's still breaking down my self-confidence as a man. Or breaking hers down as a woman.
That's causing me to withhold things that I had a bad day today. Listen, I tell my wife in a heartbeat, I'm depressed today. I'm feeling low today. I don't want to put that off on you. So when you get home, if I'm a little standoffish, I'm trying to work some things out. You know what I mean? She understands that. She gonna tell me my back hurts today, my feet hurt today, this, that, the other thing. We're gonna accept that. Whereas what you're talking about in most relationships, they're not even able to talk about that kind of thing anymore.
And the reason why I say that, man, because there's a lot of people that went to their gravesite. If they would have just had that last conversation, said, I love you. Now you all over his casket, or he's all over your casket, boo-hooing, woo-hooing, when you had a chance to say, hey, you never got closure to say I was sorry. And sometimes men, we think we too big to say I'm sorry, or women, you too sorry, or this is not what you used to. You know what I mean? And some of us allow certain things to happen. You can't get mad if you know that this guy is a scrub, a cheater, or whatever. You knew it before, but you indulged in it. But now that you're tired of it, and I hate people that break up. I hate people that break up people's homes. So I'm gonna say that, man. If you knew the situation, and now it ain't going your way, and you decide you don't only hurt that man, you hurt children, you hurt family members. So you got to be very careful with that, because when it's your time to get somebody, you might don't come across that, because you got to pay back his debt for what you did.
That's a debt.
That's a debt.
You're not getting away with that.
It doesn't make you right to say, oh, okay, well, he knew the situation. You knew the situation too. So why are you even talking to his wife or his girlfriend trying to act like, well, I could show you this and show you that? You was wrong the whole time. Why you ain't show her that stuff when you wasn't upset? Mom always say, don't tell me nothing when you're mad. Why tell me something when you're humble?
When you're humble, because I can take it better.
And it's a lot of people get killed behind that. It's a lot of people really get hurt behind that.
It's
like the guy who shot the chick on live that time. The girl called and he said, call and apologize, and he had the gun and shot the girl on the floor. That's real.
That's real. That's real. And that's my thing a lot with women. You're thinking that your vagina fixes a thing. It's like what you're talking about, Dale, and the thought is escaping me right now what I wanted to say. I was trying to hold it.
It ain't broke.
But when a woman thinks that rather than talking it out, I give you sex. And a man thinks rather than talk it out, I give you some of this dick and we'll be good.
How long that lasts?
How long does that last? The problem is still there. That's what's called that nagging loop.
Right.
You go through that same period because you didn't talk it out. My wife will tell you, when we start going through a loop, I'm not going there. I'm not even talking to you about it because we're going to end up right back where we were.
Right.
When the conversation changes, then I'll talk to you.
And
but if you're saying the same thing that we were saying,
they think that'll fix it.
Nah, that ain't gonna fix it.
When you think about sex so much, it burns brain cells.
That's a great thing
to think about other things.
Yeah,
and that's a common fact.
Yeah, great.
You know
sex is a great thing.
If your mental mind state ain't there, man, with each other, man, when you get done, you back to the same old problem. I'm still mad at her. She called me this or she said this to me. That doesn't fix everything. When you get older, you start to realize, man, that the things you thought were more important. When you was in high school, you couldn't wait. That was going to fix everything. Plus to tell the boys, yo, I got that, I got that. And believe me or not, there is no secret, and I'll say this for Clarendon County,
They better know it.
I live here 26 years. There's no
it.
secret. Even the ones who thought they hid something,
you ain't get away with nothing.
Hid anything.
I ain't get away with
because
nothing.
Because men gonna tell it.
Dale ain't get away with nothing.
None of us got away with nothing.
We know we hoes and we know the hoes. You understand what I'm saying? We know. But it's just that with adulthood, things changed a little bit.
Yeah.
I understand. My ex-wife, I tell her I don't hold no grudges because we were young.
Right.
I ain't have no right to you at that point. You didn't have no right to me.
Exactly.
But we were playing house.
Yeah.
Number one, because we didn't get the love we wanted from our parents, so we thought we could give each other
scolded
that love.
It's a lot of broken homes. Girls went out there, man, who they families had everything, but daddy wasn't really there.
Right.
Boom. She look at that guy as, this is daddy.
Yeah, this is
you
my
know
dad.
What I mean?
And
that goes back to what I was saying about
age
is a difference. People say age doesn't matter.
Right.
Yes,
it matters.
Does.
Yeah, it matters.
He's older than your child. He don't need to be going with her. They have nothing in common.
Right.
It's going to be sex.
Right.
That's what's going on nowadays. No understanding about nothing. Thanks for that, Jeremiah Montgomery. But people need to understand. It starts at home.
Yeah, what he say?
He said that's what's going on nowadays. No understanding about nothing. People don't understand. They
just want to know.
They just want to know. Right.
They want to know, but they don't want to learn and comprehend. They just want to know.
Sex does become the ruler because that's what hurting guys the most is, I ain't going to get it no more.
Right.
I feel like you downgrade yourself. Don't put nobody over you.
My partner called me from Rikers Island several years ago. And he like, Keith, most of the dudes in here, they'll never tell who they sell with, who they do crimes with. He said, most of these dudes in here snitch because they know their girl going to cheat on them and they trying to get out of prison.
Oh, yeah.
They ain't want her to be out there with no other dude.
And you might as well take your mind off that when you go, bro.
You know what I mean?
Because it's going to happen.
It's going to happen. You understand what I'm saying? But he said, man, that's who I met. Those are the people that I met. And this is what they tell me.
But you know the greatest sex of it all, though? The greatest sex is the mental. When y'all connect.
Yes, that takes you. And I did a commentary called Love, Sex, and Thought, Dale. And I was talking about after you get to that mental point where when you connect with the woman, it goes beyond that to the spiritual.
Patricia said, looking for love when you don't know what love is, trying to fill the void where mom or dad should have nurtured the soul.
Right.
Patricia Smith Williams, I totally agree with you.
Right on it. And they didn't agree with you. But the thing about that is that mom and dad really at this point, we have to take courses on how to love our children. A lady came over here yesterday. She loves to be around my wife. She loves to hug my wife. She's not gay or any of that. Right. She just admittedly says, I never got affection.
See?
When I was young. And you're the only person I can hug and talk to.
We absolutely, that's one key to, you just said affection. I want to touch on that.
Yeah.
Affection is very important.
Absolutely.
You know when you go to touch a woman and they,
right.
That's the biggest turn off in the book, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? They move around or whatever, or she go to touch you. That's the biggest turn off in the book.
Man.
Because you acting like you playing, but your body is telling you something else. You ever heard that saying? I need to talk to your mind because your body don't understand what your body needs.
Right.
That's true.
That's
the biggest turn off.
Yeah.
Because before in the beginning, I can lay on your lap.
Yeah. You push it toward me. Yeah. You want me to have
it. Like, I don't feel like, you know what? Okay, it's all good.
Yeah.
Now you putting a man's mental state or a female's mental state in. Oh, she's not even feeling me.
I had a guy, man, to tell me that he went home to his wife, man, and he wanted to be intimate with her. And she was the way you're talking about. And he said she turned her back to him, but she swung at him. Ooh. And she hit him so hard that he went in the other room, a man now, and cried.
Man.
And he asked God to stop him from having any desire to be with that woman. And he told me that he hasn't been with that woman in almost 15 years.
I'd had a guy tell me that he loves to drink. His girl loved to drink, and the only time she showed him affection is when they were drunk. Horrible. Get out of that relationship. But you know who you is.
This is where we standing. Mm-hmm. This is what we got to talk about. Mm-hmm. Because, see, we can have strong relationships. Me and you could be real close, Dale. Mm-hmm. We could build an empire with this right here.
Right.
But if we can't be honest and our women, we end up messing around with each other's girl, and we have fucked that up in a heartbeat.
Exactly.
And that's usually skewed to parental discretion is advised today. For any of you, many people asked me to be a minister, and I told them I can't be in a church because I cuss. I gotta express it the way it is. You understand what I'm saying?
All I want them to put on my gravestone is he told the
truth.
He
told the truth. So that's I tell them once I got the money to build my own building, then I'll start talking because I can say it the way it needs to be said. But I can't say it under no rules.
Even when we go out to dinner, we go out to the movies and stuff like that, man, you still have to show that affection.
Sure.
You know, I see on Facebook.
I love to hold my lady's hand.
Right. I see on Facebook the couples that been together 45 years and stuff like I get happy when I see that, man. Yeah. Because, fellas, you know, you can only run but so long, man, before your engine starts to crash.
Right. And one more thing we needed to talk about that we were talking about off camera that we need to talk about before time is up because we actually go an hour. I think we're going to make this thing an hour instead of 30 minutes because,
cool.
You know what I mean? We got so much to talk about. But we were talking about the other man and the other woman. We were talking about preachers having more than one woman. We were talking about that off the air. And I was telling you how that stuff doesn't faze me so much.
Right.
When a man has a woman at home that does not cater to what he needs to grow.
Right.
And a lot of times women, listen, you had a record contract.
Mm-hmm,
I had a record contract.
Right.
What I needed when I was doing music was because I had sisters.
Right.
I needed my sisters to believe in me.
Right.
And I needed my mother to believe in me.
Right.
None of them did.
When
I brought it to them, so what? All you're going to end up doing is coming back here anyway. You ain't going to do nothing with it. That broke me.
Nobody claimed me until they felt like I was going to make it.
You understand what I'm saying? But when you close to the gate, they want you.
Right.
But they did. You need the comfort of a person. It don't have to be your wife. It could be a sister or brother that believes in what you're doing.
Right. It's hard for people it's hard for a guy to give you love, man, who's never really been shown love.
Right.
Or a female. You grew up in a home where this woman, your mother wasn't really there, or your dad wasn't really there.
Right.
You never really learned love. You just learned that you got what you needed.
Right.
And that you got what you needed with school, clothes, books, food. They remember I was saying, I give you roof over your head, I give you this, I give you that.
Cook food,
and that's all that you was allowed to.
But that wasn't what that intimate side of it. A lot of women, they sit down
with their daughters and talk to them about sex because they figure like, I don't need to talk to my daughter. She's perfect.
Nobody told me how. I made money all of my life because I was working since I was in school. We did the JTBA program and all that.
Right.
But nobody told me how to deal with money. So when I got older, all I thought I was supposed to do with my money is spend it on myself.
See?
You understand what I'm saying? So I didn't know how to pay bills and all that stuff.
Exactly.
So the people who are looking at me, family, running down on me because I'm not doing anything. But damn it, y'all never taught me how to do this shit.
I don't know. A couple of dollars
you understand
from
what I'm saying? Why? I mean, and so I started hating money.
Right.
And then it wasn't until like 15 years later, God said, don't hate money.
Right.
Says the money is the root of all evil, but it didn't say money is evil.
Right.
You do stupid things for money.
You do.
But if you don't call money into your circle, you're not going to have it.
Exactly.
So I had to readjust my whole thinking pattern to realize that, okay, if I want to grow, I got to have the financials. Right. I had to have the financials. But we're talking about these preachers, right?
Right.
Who many people condemn for having more than one woman.
Right.
And I was telling you that a lot of times they don't get the comfort they need.
Right.
From the woman that they're with, because sometimes we get so high and mighty. We dress the part of a good wife.
Right.
But man, when I come home and I'm frustrated, I need you to F my brains out.
Right.
I need you to suck on my dick. I need you I need to touch your ass. I need to suck your toes.
Right.
I need to get nasty with my wife.
Right.
But you there like we still in church. You just laying there with your head turned.
I
got to stay erect. I got to stay. I'm not excited.
Goes back to the first thing here, spiritual demons.
It's a bad thing.
Spiritual demons, or women thinking that their vagina is
I just
the answer
open my
to the
legs
relationship.
and you get it, and as long as you get it, no, I wanted love from that. It's called making love. You're making it.
Right.
I'm learning things about you as we are together intimately.
Exactly.
We're making a part of ourselves now. After that sexual relationship, you know what you're supposed to be doing? Supposed to be so open spiritually that you talk.
Exactly.
What are your dreams? What are your aspirations?
Right.
Oh, I want to do this. Oh, yeah. You
do
can
we
do
stop
that.
setting goals when we do get in relationships?
Brother,
I think we do.
We stop
setting goals for ourselves or as a unit.
We fall into a funk.
Right.
Because I'm not talking to you about what I desire. You're looking at me like I'm garbage.
We have no more goals.
We don't have any more goals. We don't have any more aspiration. We don't have any more motivation.
Right.
It's like marriage is the end point.
I barely
it's like
see
people
dude
go
open
to
the car door.
college.
I
People
barely see right.
Or the door.
Right.
People go to college and they celebrate getting the degree like that's the end of it.
That's a wrap.
Nah, that's just the beginning because you ain't even went through your clinicals yet.
Hey.
So really you get a degree and you start from the beginning.
And it's funny because, I didn't go to college, but I say this. I'm making more than the ones who went to college.
To average people.
You know what I'm saying?
Because they didn't take advantage of what they worked towards. They stopped at a point.
Right.
Relationships stop. I got the nigga now. What I got to keep trying to impress
That's
him
how
for?
I do with the girl. They be like, hey,
listen, I don't use the N-word, and I told y'all that unless it is in the context
when we get
of what
somebody we like,
about.
the next thing, like Keith said, is always, I got the person now. I ain't got to do this no more.
I ain't got to do this no more.
I ain't got to look a certain way
I just give him a little bit every now and then.
You're supposed to and I say this because everybody have a past before you meet them, right? And people always say, you need a past in the past.
Right, no.
Well, some of y'all still bring the past to the future.
But listen, I never believed in that, though.
Right.
Because the Bible is a book of the past. But we use the Bible to teach in church every Sunday. Yep. Jesus was here 2,000 years ago. What do we talk about on Sunday? Jesus.
Right.
2,000 years ago.
Right.
That's the past. The book is written from the past. But the book is written in such a way that it is a book that helps you deal with the present.
The more you edit.
The more you see it, look at it,
right.
damn. That's happening to me right now.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Parents are the past.
Right.
That's why we get caught up and very confused when we start talking about people your age, my age, where we label them old heads. I can take the title.
Right.
I mean, I'm an old head. I respect that. But when
Shatika, you're right. She said some people get married and get comfortable.
Right.
That's a true statement.
Right.
That's a true statement.
Right.
And let me tell you something. If you are being abused, and I have to put that out there because I don't like nobody to hit women. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You need to be castrated, whatever.
Right.
If you are abusing a woman, to keep that woman, you're abusing her mentally or physically.
Mentally.
Your day will come, my brother.
Right.
Without the grits. And if you ladies allowing somebody to do that to you, need to get out that relationship.
Right.
Love ain't supposed to be a hurting thing.
No, it better not be because where we grew up, my coming of age period was in the Nation of Islam under the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. But and under the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, but if you found out someone was abusing a woman, we gonna visit you.
Yeah,
we gonna beat your ass.
And some of them girls,
you understand what I'm saying? Because you gonna get it.
That's not love. That's not love when you got a black eye or a bruise on.
Right.
And I'm strongly saying that, man, because it's a lot of people right now, as me and you talking, Keith, that's probably getting abused right now. It's not okay.
Right. Listen, I was in one of my last relationships. I pulled a gun on. She pulled a hammer on me. I pulled a gun on her. And when I pulled a gun on her, I say it's time for you to go because one of us gonna die.
Gonna kill each other.
We're gonna kill each other.
And the worst relationship to have is when both of y'all drinking.
Right.
Because I explained hold on, let me say this. Vanique Blandon says, sometimes you lose yourself in marriage. I lost myself in marriage. So caught up in being a wife, I neglected me.
Right.
Now that's some true saying.
Heavy.
That goes both ways too.
Man, we gonna have to get a call in with her.
Hey, Vanique, you gonna have to call us in.
I want you to explain what you were saying. I want her to explain that because that is heavy.
We getting a lot of people to hit us up, but nobody really wants to go deep with it, man.
Yeah, because I lost myself in marriage too, and I became like the babysitter.
How do you bounce back? How do you bounce back?
Man, you got to take time to find yourself, but you can't do that in that relationship though.
If you're not happy yourself, you can't provide a happy relationship, right?
And see, what it was is I was beating my children all the time, fussing at them all the time. And I did my children wrong because of the pain I was going through in the relationship. I didn't give them all that they needed. So I still apologizing to them. And when they come to me today, I'm that person that they should have had years ago.
Right, exactly.
That's how I try to fix it.
Right.
I don't judge them.
Right.
I just tell them what I got to tell them, and if I can help them, I'm going to help them.
Right.
And it's more than just finances, but with advice.
Right.
I was talking about the old heads, how they think that, but the people who have gone through it are the ones who can help you go further.
And you can't be an old head unless you live to be an old head. I love when y'all call me that because
I take that.
I'll be seeing so many of y'all get locked up, man, for stuff that I said, man, I'm so glad I'm not out there
and get
in the
locked
streets.
up again. They do the same
again,
damn thing
but
again.
you keep getting out. And then they say, okay, this person snitched. I think the biggest snitch is yourself.
Every day, all day.
Day.
This is the smallest, most ignorant town, in my opinion, when it comes to dudes thinking somebody's snitching on them.
Like you were saying, and people, and there's signs that when you're going through something, man, in a relationship, women get depressed too. And we all think about something we've been through, that's something somebody done did to us.
Right.
If you with somebody and have done something and you say you trust them, because God will forgive me for anything. And if you don't, that's between you and your soul.
Right.
Because that means I'm still holding you captive.
Right.
When somebody got your mind and they can you can keep thinking about them and the things they done to you, they run your life.
Right. That's right.
They run your life.
That's right.
But you can free yourself when you say, okay, I forgive this person.
Right.
And life must go on.
Right.
A lot of people don't do that.
But don't my advice, don't never let go of the experience.
No.
Because any person that forgets is doomed to repeat what they forgot. And that is the danger of forgetting, in my opinion. But when God says when you heal, you don't have to think about it no more.
And you know what's the funny part? I just read something where a girl said she had a mental health counselor. And some people say marriage counselors, right? But listen here. You know that statistics say 80% of the marriage counselors
aren't married themselves. Or can't keep a relationship.
Can't keep a relationship.
Right. Right.
Because you be in a controlling relationship is one of the worst relationships.
That's the worst.
You
Yeah,
know?
that's what I was talking about, that micromanaging.
Micromanaging.
That is controlling.
Right.
And that is the worst. That's a dead relationship. We got to do this. We got to go on this trip because people going to be looking at us. And we got to take this picture. And we got to do this.
I don't like when people, like we was talking about pictures earlier, I don't like when people try to make everything look good.
Perfect.
Like there's no wrong.
Right.
And there are some wrongs because everything you go through, man, you're supposed to have some ups and downs and some wrongs and some rights.
That's balance.
Some balance.
Right.
And then people, you pay all this money for these big old weddings.
Right.
Then sometimes you don't stay married a year.
A year.
You know what I'm saying?
And that money
Everything's for show.
Look, Italians don't. They'll give you a big wedding because they can afford it most times. But what they give you is money.
Yeah.
To start your life.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And that is something we need to learn how to do in the black community. Encourage our children to stop with the big weddings, and we'll give you a reception and give you envelopes with money.
Right.
Or I'm going to start a life insurance policy for you and your family, things that you don't have to worry about.
I heard my friend, let's go out to my man Mike Wright, man. The funniest thing, she said we can call it anytime. We got you. The next Sunday we going to be on, Vanique. We got you. Trust that. My man Mike Wright said, you know what I give my kids when they graduate? A piece of stock that I bought for them.
Right.
That's the best thing we can do versus new cars.
That's what my wife
stuff
does.
like that, and I appreciate that.
That's what my wife
does.
does.
Back on the subject, we were talking about how can we repair relationships? How can we repair marriages?
Well, in closing, I'm going to say this in closing.
Okay.
I agree with Psychology Today, and it says it gives 3 points about how to start the healing process. Number one is knowing
closely.
It's knowing your sensitivities, what hurts you, what makes you feel bad. My wife is getting to the point now where she is able to say what's on her mind to people.
Right.
And that gives you, that takes a lot of weight off of you. Right. So when you're able to say to your spouse, the person next to you, your boyfriend, listen, I'm not happy.
Right.
Now, if they don't say to you why, they don't care.
Nah.
You understand what I'm saying? Or if they say why in a way that is kind of offish, you understand that they aren't able to have a conversation.
Right.
In a situation like that, you may need a mediator.
Right.
Now, a lot of people, and Dale has said it, keep family out of your relationship. But honestly,
keep your family.
With me, I like to be in my family relationship, like I said, because I am not biased.
Right.
I don't see the wife as wrong or the husband as wrong.
The reason why I state that so much too, because for what I've seen, I speak from experiences and what I've seen.
I understand exactly what you're saying.
A person can say,
yeah,
I don't want you going with Keith.
Right, I understand.
He's a bad
exactly.
guy.
Right.
He's a bad guy for you.
Right.
But you can go with Donnell because he comes from a good family.
Yeah.
Well, Donnell is the worst
That's
person
bad.
right here.
You mentioned that before.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
good guys were the ones that turned the girls out in school. You said that on our last time.
And they don't know how to love after that.
They don't know how to love after that.
Because they went for somebody who had a name, who had great looks.
I agree with that.
And a lot of us are guilty on the man's side too.
Right.
The girls would go after that fly dude, and that dude would just make them think that he loved them for sexual pleasures.
Right.
And now when you got with somebody who wasn't all about sexual pleasure, you didn't know how to treat them.
You don't know how to treat them.
I don't think personally, I don't think long-distance relationships ever work.
Never.
I'm going to just be honest with you.
Right.
I don't think that works.
They're comforting in a way that you can talk.
Yup.
But they're not.
And there are women who dealt with military men that are creeping because I've seen quite a few of them. I know they men in the military and they flirting and saying this and that and using this
having
gesture.
sex too.
Yeah, exactly. So
I just told you it was a dude that was in prison. I was with his girl.
Yeah,
and he
told you had to be
me
out, right?
When I come out of prison, you got to be gone. And I respected that.
Exactly.
But he knew that his girl needed something.
But are we
though.
right though, Keith? If the girl is bad, and I know she's sleeping with everybody, but I want a piece of it. Or the guy is bad, I know he's sleeping with everybody. We're just as wrong as anybody
Everybody
in
in
the
the situation.
And some of them will know and act like they don't know, though.
Everybody in the situation is wrong because what we are doing, going back to the demonic side of sex, is, like I said before, a lot of the women in Clarendon County that...
Right.
Go ahead, read that first. I can remember.
Tika said, and Donnell was the one beating on your child because the good family will cover and protect him.
That's a fact. Hey,
that's real.
That's happening right now. There's a situation in Manning where the quote-unquote good family that's got money trying to make this girl look bad because she wants custody of her child, but they don't want their son to have to pay her child support. But he's the no good dude. You understand what I'm saying? He's the one, but his family got money.
Right.
So they're paying big time money to make this girl look like she's the problem.
Monica Hilton say great points. Been married and with the high school sweetheart 22 to 28 years. Never split up, but ups and downs. Absolutely mistakes, of course, forgiven. A must. God is first in our lives. And I remember when y'all two got together. That's real. That's real. Up. That was like you was in 9th grade and he was in 12th grade.
That's proof positive.
Now I said that older dudes shouldn't be talking, but that in your favor worked. Yeah. But like you said, there was mistakes made. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what I mean, like I told you last week, week before last, we were talking about relationships, and I told you if I had a younger daughter, I would want her with the older man.
Right.
But I want an older man that's going to mold her into a woman.
Right.
Not turn her into a prostitute or a whore or nothing. And if he's not older, his mindset has to be, I want for you what I want for myself.
Right.
Because Islam taught me to want for your brother what you want for yourself.
Right.
Now, if I want my wife to be successful, or I want to be successful, I want her to be successful.
Exactly.
I'm not going to hold her back.
Right.
I never hold my wife back.
Right.
My wife is a go-getter.
Right.
I am too. But her chances are better at her being successful.
Right.
So I weigh the options.
Right.
And I say, well, you got this.
Right.
Mine is a gamble.
Right.
So I'm going to stay over here and you go. You understand? And you get yours.
But I really believe in reinventing your relationship, reinventing your marriage.
Do it all the time.
If sometimes marriage ain't for everybody.
No.
It's not for everybody. And relationships are sometimes not for everybody. Some people are meant to be alone for a reason.
Right.
That's how I feel about it.
It should be.
But you can destroy your relationship. That goes for marriage and having a relationship if you don't communicate, if you don't have respect, if you don't have goals,
right,
and if you don't find some spiritual relief in your life.
But I want to say this, man, golly, man, Allahu Akbar, you came to that spiritual relief. I wanted to touch on that. I want married couples to understand that just going to church on Sundays is not helping your relationship, because you're still not talking. You're still not communicating. But what we think is, I go to church all the time, my life's supposed to be better. No.
Church have destroyed some relationships.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What makes your life better is if what you learn in your religious institutions, whatever that may be, can be applicable to your life. If you can apply it to your life. And most of what you learn in religious institutions, especially in the South, you can't apply it to your life.
No, you can't.
Because they're teaching it from a past that all it is Jesus, 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 Jesus. That is not going to fix your life.
Right.
What's going to fix your life is when you pick up this book called Bible and you relate it to relationships. You relate it to the times. And so whenever I stand with you, if you hear that I'm speaking somewhere, me and Dale, you should come.
Yeah, come.
You know what I'm saying? Because you can bring any question and put it on the table, And if it can't be answered that day, it's going to be answered the next day.
We're going to research it.
We're going to research it.
And the main thing with, like you just said, man, the spiritual relief, man, is people going to make mistakes. All right, for instance, if you're 20 years old, you get with a woman who's 27. All right, that's a difference. That's a 7-year difference.
Right.
So when I was 7 years old playing with G.I. Joe, man,
right.
You was 14 years old,
right.
and you might have been intimate because the average
women
girl is
quicker.
16.
Women age
16,
quicker than men.
15 years
They're more
old.
mature.
Yeah, they more mature.
Yeah.
So now here it is. You want this because you've been around.
Right.
You want this man to be on the same level, but you forgot.
He's not
there. He's young. He's not there yet.
He's not there. And you can't bring him there.
No,
a woman can't bring a man to a point of maturity like
he
you.
has to bring himself.
He has to. You can tell him certain things, but being a woman, you're more like a mother to him.
Exactly.
So if he didn't get that from mom, he needs to get it now from a man.
But a woman, you should always have your man back. Not just on financial things, but to find out what he's going through, what he's thinking in his mind. Because men, we're more humble. Like we don't like to express ourselves too much. It's a lot of relationships got lost because somebody didn't want to tell somebody they loved them.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
I don't have no problem with that. I love my wife.
So I hope this has been a great experience for everybody. Yeah. This is a subject we had to touch on, man.
Yeah, for sure. And
there are 5 ways a relationship go wrong and 3 ways to fix it.
Right. And I think, we did 2. Number 2 was to be assertive rather than withdrawn, which means when you got a problem, talk about it.
Right.
Look, I don't like it when you have rough sex with. There was a lady that came and talked to my wife and I, and she said when she have sex with her husband, she feel horrible afterwards, spiritually. She
Right.
feel confused for days.
Right, right.
And I said, you tell him that? Yeah, I tell him, but I said, did you tell him what makes you feel that way? He's just too rough.
He's destroying the insides.
Yeah, he's tearing her apart. Yeah, so my thing is, all women don't need a hard screw. Some women need intimacy from softness.
Yeah.
You understand? And it don't have to be the longest penis in the world. You just got to find the G spot. Once you find that spot, you use your what you got. What's going on? You use what you got to give her pleasure.
Right.
You can even so much as when a woman is in her heightened point of pleasure, you can whisper to her things and encourage her to grow.
Right.
You're a beautiful woman. You're my queen.
Right.
But what you get with young dudes today is they fucking, you bitch, you no good bitch. I'm gonna fuck that shit, and that's what they get.
Is that the way you talk to somebody you love?
The next week you see them, they done changed their whole dress code.
And you
Booty
make her like that.
on,
You make her
out.
like that because you got her thinking of what you call her, how you speak to her
I'm
sexually.
A bitch. I'm your bitch.
I'm
a
prostitute.
hoe. Right.
And that's how you want to do it. So that's how she perceives herself.
Right.
And women, let me tell you something. Just because you got a big behind and all that don't mean nothing. My words always be, you can have a cute body and a cute face and your head be filled with empty space.
Right.
Think about that.
I want my woman on point. I want her to be able to tell me, man, shut your mouth.
Man. Yeah, shut up.
What you saying don't make no sense. You know what I mean?
We're supposed to help each other grow.
Right. I don't want no chump. I never wanted a chump.
Me?
I like a strong woman.
I want somebody going to be there when it ain't working.
Right.
When it's over with. Because it will. Every good thing comes to an end.
And that's a frightening thing.
And some of the women, they go through that stuff too.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So you got to have balance. And we can balance each other. Again, like Dale said, be cautious who you invite into your relationship.
It's never too late to do good.
Right.
Be cautious of who you let. And I always say this.
Right.
Don't send your kids the wrong perception.
Right.
Wrong. You know, this couple used to tell me, man, they had 7 kids. And when they would make love, they would go in the rooms and make sure that their kids would sleep.
Right.
They would go all the way to the basement or where they had to
way
go.
Off
they
from.
never wanted to entice their kids to make them think that was right.
That's right.
The father never walked around in the house because those was his daughter and kids in his boxes. He always respected that.
That's me. I don't like to walk around without my shirt off, even though I ain't got nothing nobody want to see. I just feel it's respectable to cover yourself.
But respect that, man. And a lot of guys, be careful about, a lot of y'all guys if you notice, God be giving the guys who really, really are the players a lot of daughters.
Right.
He be giving them the daughters to try to teach them a lesson.
Right. This going to happen to
but
you.
Be careful who you call when you call these girls. Once again, parental advisory is advised. when you call these girls bitches and when you call them hoes, be careful with that.
Right.
Because somebody going to feel the same way about your daughter one day.
About your daughter.
And, you know, if I encourage my daughter, don't you ever let nobody call you that. If he does, it's time to leave.
It's time to leave.
When it gets disrespectful, it's time to leave. That's for everybody. Don't stay in a toxic relationship. If you want to repair it, repair it. We was on number 3, Keith, right?
We're going to number 3.
All right, we're going to number 3
and that's
now.
it. We got to close. Number 3 is realize it's not all about you, but other partners coping. You got to realize that it's 2 people in a relationship. And I have to compromise with this person. And compromising is really not a bad thing. Compromising is a good, especially for me, because my wife taught me a lot, because I'm a damaged person.
Me too, man.
And women damage me. Women damage me. Women tore me apart. And then I got this woman who's trying to fix me, but I'm looking at her from behind the door like, you think you slick. You know what I mean? But she's not trying to be slick. She's trying to help me. You understand what I'm saying?
You know, it's funny, man. It's like back in 9-6, man, I was looking in the sky, man, looking at myself. And I ain't afraid to say I've been locked up child support. I used to call you all the time. You know what I mean? When I was locked up.
Right.
And I said, God, I don't want to be with no more girls that I drink, they drink. I smoke too, they smoke too.
Right.
If you send me somebody that I can really bond with and hold, I'll try to grow as a man.
Right.
Because I don't want to be a player no more. I don't want to do
these things because it's not beneficial.
I'm tired of going to the hotel, get my $2 back for my key, you know?
Right.
And a month later, I was asking for a job. I was asking for all of these things. And I did come across that.
Right.
And I was very happy.
Right.
And nobody wanted to see me happy. They were saying, you don't need to be with him. He's a thug. He used to run with this one and that one. But people don't know sometimes a woman can change that, man, and make you responsible. And I'm very, very thankful for that.
That's the point I wanted to make. When I was saying earlier, before you read the comment, I was saying about women don't have the power to change a man like that. They do have, I didn't get to finish that.
Okay.
Women do have a power within them when they see the potential of a person.
Right.
To nurture you into who you can be.
Right.
That's what a mother does.
Right.
A mother nurtures you.
Right.
You be like, I'm failing, Ma, I just can't get it. She hug you and say, baby, keep trying.
Exactly.
You gonna get there.
That encouragement plays a big
you understand?
power, man.
And that's what a woman does. Look, you my husband.
Right.
Where you go, I go.
Yeah.
So you keep doing what you're doing, and I know you're gonna provide and
strong,
do. Man, look. You'll be up all night getting your work, trying to figure out how to make it work, because this woman believes in you.
But when you feel like somebody don't care, man, it's like
it's difficult.
It makes you don't care no more.
Right, and that's that lack of respect where these young girls love to get out in the street and run their mouth about, nigga, you don't do nothing for me and this and that. That kind of disrespect makes a person.
I think we expose each other too much.
Yeah.
Really with the social media.
Yeah.
And I want to tell people, be very careful with that, man, because I've seen some stuff on the net, man, where guys exposing straight guys being gay and stuff like that.
Right.
Yo, I just want to say, be very careful with that, man, because I see death coming out of that soon.
Yeah.
And I'm going to leave that subject alone with people.
I agree with that because, listen, if a person is in homosexual relationships, so what if it ain't bothering you? Like I told Dale and we talked about, as long as it ain't no young person, no older man trying to turn out a young person, so what? They're adults. Let them deal with that with God. That ain't even a topic that should matter.
Exactly.
What should matter is, why are they that way?
Exactly.
What made them feel like they can't even deal with women no more?
Exactly.
Like I said in one of my broadcasts, and we gotta close, there's a pleasure center in the ass of any man or woman. The anal cavity, it's nerve endings there. And if the right person touched that, and I know it's a touchy subject, but if the right person touches that and touch your soul, the man begins to feel like a woman.
Right.
And he feels more love than he ever felt before, or there's a man or woman that treats them better than any man or woman ever did.
Right.
So when like I said, when people talk to me about a preacher having another woman, I brush that to the side. When people talk to me about homosexuality, I brush that to the side too. Because you got to ask, why is it happening?
Why is it happening?
What's causing it? And like my son, he's 12 years old. His godfather has been a homosexual all of his life. But what he says to me is, I've been this way. I got to deal with God with it. But this is a good dude.
Right. And
you understand what I'm saying?
All people, I respect their preference. But I'm going to say this, man. Take back everything. We're going into 2019. take back everything that the devil took from you in 2018.
Yeah, get it back.
And
the way you get it back is you start ignoring these slanderers.
Woman, if you want that man, repair that relationship.
Repair
if
it.
not,
don't
make
divorce.
this the year that you move on.
Don't divorce if it's not necessary.
Exactly.
And you will find out if it's necessary by conversation.
I feel like we be lying to God sometime, though.
Because that's how we came in.
You said that for riches, for
poor, right.
forever.
Better or worse. Yeah. You come in the game lying.
Yeah.
You saying I want you for what you got right now, but tomorrow, I don't know. But you better keep going with what you got. So
a girl just hit me. LOL, so funny though, because when you and your wife got together, I thought, dang, she comes from a family singing in the church and stuff, and he's from the streets.
Right.
It's awesome to hear you where you're praying for both, for your soul.
Right.
Praying for your soul.
Right.
Well, you know what's funny about that? Because
people
people thought that.
People misunderstand what the street is, though.
Yeah.
You know what always bothered me? We're gonna make this another subject.
Touch on
what
that.
bothers me is this. Anytime a person is trying to start a ministry, the first place they come is to the street.
Yeah.
Like all the street people are evil.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, wait a minute. The best dudes I ever met was from the street.
Right.
Now you turning your back on the fact that your church full of devils.
Yes, sir.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Them the crooked ones right there.
Exactly.
But
and
you coming out here pointing at me like, oh, you ain't in church, you a bad person. I'm not a bad person.
And it's funny because if you ever looked at Del Powell, knew Del Powell didn't never display no kind of relationship.
Right.
Whenever I did shows or whatever, when I was in high school, I wasn't walking around the blockers with a high school sweetheart. I wasn't escaping from the dances in the game in my car. I was just a dude that was out there. You know what I mean?
But that's my point. The street understands the street.
Right.
And the church understands the church.
Mm-hmm.
And in relationships, it's the same. You may understand it from the feminine or the male, but we got to start understanding it from the whole perspective.
And it's funny because, like she said, like I asked a question for the same girl, like, what does a 12th grader want with a 9th grader?
Right, right.
What was a dude going to college who have a bigger variety want with you and you in 9th and 10th grade? And you in the 9th and 10th grade. There's nothing but
there's something wrong there.
It's nothing but sex. A person got to be sick.
Yeah, they're trying to turn you out.
You know what I mean?
But
best believe a lot of girls who had high school sweethearts and stuff like that, they man was in college. You think that he was really, really loyal to you?
Right. You had a plan, but the plan
I'm just a messenger, man.
Just a messenger. So again, 3 things you got to realize. You got to be stronger. You got to be more assertive when it comes to conversation. You need to really seek counseling, but you don't have to seek counseling from a professional. You can seek counseling from people you trust and people who want to see your best interest. I had 2 people that are very close to me. Both of them came to me. They're getting ready to get divorced and going through all kind of mess.
It is what it is.
And my thing was, I got to try one more time.
What's up, dog?
Try one more time. And they're back together now.
That's
it
good.
ain't because of me, but it's just, I'm just saying, the lady would come to me with speculations about the dude that I know weren't true.
Now, do you think...
I'm like, that dude did not do that. I'm telling you, he was with me. He didn't do it.
Right.
But she thought in her mind for sure he did do it. I'm like, man, I'm telling you, he did not. He was with me.
If you got kids, man, don't even stay in your relationship for the kids, man.
Right.
I mean, if your marriage or whatever is worth saving,
save
it. If not, move on.
Right.
And to all those people who always doubting the guys who probably came from the streets and been with somebody good, that was the purpose.
Right.
Opposites attract.
I'm a street dude. My wife is not a street. My wife is not a street woman.
Brother Keith ain't perfect either.
Nah, I'm a street dude. I hustle.
We've been around. You know what I mean?
I did it. Yeah,
but we able to talk about.
And
there was some girls that was in school that didn't deserve the guys that they got either.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because they been around.
Yeah.
Been around. And somebody didn't know but gave you opportunity. Hold on. It's never too late to do good, but it's too late when you're done bad.
That's what it is. Listen, we appreciate y'all tuning in, brother. Jamil Salib Zamir, the
Del
big
Powell.
homie, Del Powell over there. You listening to Telling It Like It Is. Hey, share this information. We're looking for some support. Again, we're looking for all kind of support. We're looking for financial. We're looking for verbal. You want to share this program. I want our numbers to get up into the thousands.
Right.
Because people can do like a rap song or something, and they get 1,000 hits, and the song is real crappy.
We talking about real stuff.
We
coming
talking
to
about
that
real
music,
stuff.
but it won't be what you think.
It won't be what you think.
Shout out to my son, Daquan Powell's birthday today, 20
That's
years
what's up.
old,
Happy
man.
birthday, big homie.
You see what happened, Keith?
Yeah.
Somebody good came in my life, and we got something good
y'all
out of it,
produce
too.
something.
Yeah.
and he got both sides of y'all. You know what I'm saying? He
yeah.
got the music thing. He got a head on his shoulder.
He's very
balance, bro.
Y'all get
that's
at the Marita, man.
Yeah, that's just what it is.
If it wasn't
man.
for her, man, it'd be some problems.
You know what
I'm
I mean?
So glad. And that's a person that changed me. I can honestly say.
Yeah, you should.
Took me out of the street, made me a responsible man. You
right.
know, gave me a daughter, gave me a son.
Right.
And still
gave
got
you
my
something
back,
to fight
man.
for.
Yeah, still got my back.
You know what I mean? So big ups
so
to.
So Corey said that's what's up. You need to have them on how to put it back, to help them on how to put it back together.
Yeah, you late, Corey, man. We've been talking, man. Man, where you been, man? You know what I mean? But listen.
Hey, respect your woman, man.
Yeah.
And what's old to you is new to the next man.
That's right.
And what's old to her is new to her.
Ain't nothing like a good woman. Ain't nothing like a good man.
Get it back together. Get your house in order, man. Set the example. Set the expectations and do the follow-up and hope everything work out well, man. Y'all tune in for the next Tell It Like It Is. We will be providing y'all with the information on that. And we back strong. We just had the holidays. We ain't going nowhere.
That's right.
Stay tuned. Have a good one.
Yep. Peace.
Yo, let me tell you,